Sarah was a kind and loving wife. She believed that love, trust, and kindness were the keys to a happy marriage. She had been married to David for 10 years, and through all the ups and downs, she always stood by his side. But one day, something happened that tested her patience, her strength, and her love. Would she be able to hold her family together, or would everything fall apart? Sarah and David lived in a small, cozy house with their 2 children, Emma and Noah. Their life was simple, but filled with love. Sarah took care of the home, made delicious meals, and helped the children with their studies. David worked at an office and always came home tired, but Sarah greeted him every evening with a warm smile and a hot meal. Everyone in the neighborhood admired Sarah. They would say, "She is such a good wife and mother," they would say, but what people didn't know was that Sarah's life was not always easy. One evening, David came home late. He looked upset and did not speak much. Sarah noticed something was wrong. "David, is everything okay?" she asked softly. He sighed. "Work has been really stressful. My boss is unhappy with me. I might lose my job." Sarah's heart sank. She knew how much David loved his job. "Don't worry, David," she said gently. "We will get through this together." But things only got worse. Over the next few weeks, David became more distant. He started coming home even later. Sometimes he didn't eat the dinner Sarah prepared. He looked tired, frustrated, and lost in his thoughts. Sarah didn't complain. She continued to support David in every way she could. She left small notes in his lunchbox, reminding him that she loved him. She made his favorite meals, hoping to bring him comfort. She even took on extra work from home to save money in case David lost his job. One day, David came home and found Sarah sitting in the living room, sewing a torn shirt. He looked at her for a long time. "Sarah," he finally said, "why are you always so patient with me? I have been distant and stressed, but you never get angry." Sarah put down the shirt and smiled. "Because I love you, David. Marriage is not just about the happy days. It's about standing together, even in the difficult times." David felt a lump in his throat. He realized how lucky he was to have a wife like Sarah. He walked over and hugged her tightly. "I don't deserve you," he whispered. A week later, David lost his job. He came home with his shoulders low and tears in his eyes. "Sarah, I failed you," he said. "I don't know how we will manage now." Sarah held his hands. "We will manage, David. I have been saving some money, and we will cut back on expenses. We will find a way." David couldn't believe it. Instead of blaming him, Sarah was thinking of solutions. He wiped his tears and hugged her again. "You are my strength, Sarah." With Sarah's encouragement, David started looking for new jobs. She helped him update his resume and practice for interviews. After 2 months of struggle, David finally got a new job, one that was even better than his old one. When he came home with the good news, Sarah jumped with joy. The children clapped and hugged their father. That night, they celebrated with a simple, home-cooked meal, but their hearts were full of happiness. David looked at Sarah and said, "You are the reason our family is strong. I promise to always appreciate you and never take you for granted." Sarah smiled. She didn't need expensive gifts or grand gestures. The love and happiness of her family were all she ever wanted. Sarah's story is a reminder that a good wife is not just someone who takes care of the house. She is a partner, a friend, and a source of strength. Through patience, kindness, and love, She held her family together in tough times, and in the end, her love and dedication made her marriage even stronger. After David found his new job, life seemed to return to normal. The family was happy again, and Sarah was relieved to see David smiling more often. However, a new challenge was about to test their love and patience once again. One evening, David came home looking nervous. He sat down with Sarah after dinner and held her hands. "Sarah, I have something important to tell you," he said. Sarah's heart raced. "What is it, David?" "My new job is great, but they want to transfer me to another city. It's a big opportunity, but it means we have to move. The kids will have to change schools, and you will have to leave everything behind," he explained. Sarah took a deep breath. Moving to a new place was not easy, but she knew David's happiness and career were important. "If this is what's best for our family, then we will do it together," she said with a reassuring smile. David hugged her. "You always put our family first, Sarah. I don't know what I would do without you." A month later, the family moved to a new city. Everything was different. The streets, the people, even the weather. Sarah had to find a new routine, make new friends, and help the children adjust to their new school. At first, it was tough. The kids missed their old friends, and Sarah felt lonely in the unfamiliar neighborhood. But she didn't let these challenges bring her down. She joined a local community group, met other mothers, and slowly started feeling at home. One day, David came home early and found Sarah busy in the kitchen, preparing a special meal. "What's the occasion?" he asked with a smile. "I just wanted to celebrate us," Sarah said. "We have come so far, and we are still together, still strong. That's something to be thankful for." David felt a deep sense of gratitude. You always find a way to make things better, no matter the situation. Just when things were settling down, another problem arose. One day, David's company announced that they were making budget cuts. His job was at risk once again. The stress returned, and David became distant, just like before. Sarah noticed it immediately. One evening, she sat beside him and said, "David, I can see you're worried. Talk to me." David sighed. "I don't want to put more pressure on you, Sarah. We just moved here, and now I might lose my job again. It's too much." Sarah took his hand. "You don't have to carry this burden alone. We are a team. No matter what happens, we will figure it out." David looked at her and felt the same comfort he had always felt with her. "You're right. We will get through this together." Luckily, after weeks of uncertainty, David was offered a different position within the same company. It wasn't exactly what he wanted, but it was a job, and he was grateful. Sarah continued to be the pillar of strength for their family. She started a small home business selling handmade crafts, which brought extra income and kept her busy. The kids adapted to their new school, and life became peaceful again. One evening, as the family sat together, laughing and enjoying dinner, David looked at Sarah and said, "You are more than just a good wife, Sarah. You are the heart of this family." Sarah smiled. "And you, David, are my partner in everything. We are strong because we stand together. Life is full of challenges, but a good marriage is built on love, trust, and teamwork." Sarah's story is a reminder that being a good wife is not just about cooking meals or keeping a house clean. It's about being a source of strength, support, and love through every storm. And in the end, love always finds a way to keep a family together.